Welcome to Heroes Part 1 on the Wormhole Extremists. My name is David. I'm with Nicole
Hello.
and Evie.
Hello.
And here we go. We're watching
Trauma.
what is
Trauma.
largely considered to be some of the best two-parters, if not the best two-parter
Absolutely.
that the show has put out. It's Christopher Judge's favorite. I know it's a favorite of the cast.
It's
Yes.
it
Yeah.
makes it so serious. It really like takes that kind of camp style and kind of puts it to the side
Mm,
for an episode to be like, hey, look, this is actually like serious warfare we're
yeah.
engaging
I
in.
think there was a Comic-Con in 2008 with a lot of the cast and crew, and this two-parter was rated the best that SG1 ever produced in its entire 10-year run. And I think that was Amanda, Martin Wood, Michael, and Christopher.
Yep,
So
and
yeah.
it
Yeah.
was only supposed to be one episode for the longest time. It was shot with second unit throughout season 7, and at a certain point,
Yes.
Rob turned it into 2 episodes and added the Woolsey subplot that we see in the second show.
Which is awesome.
Absolutely.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that takes care of about a page of my notes, so I can
Hey,
skip over
perfect.
that.
Thank you,
Turn on
David.
to 2 of 15. Proceed.
So this so I was gonna say that this is in the background there with the mustache is Mitchell Costerman, and he actually played Agent Hamner in Seth
The
before this
ATF.
episode, obviously.
Yeah.
And his character's name is Rundell. So Mitchell actually based the character on Andy Makita, the director, going for like this calm, capable, likable vibe. And a bit of a military slip up. His glorious mustache is totally out of regulations. So
Oh,
the Air Force mustaches can't go past the corner of your lips, and the Air Force actually called them out on this after the fact.
wow.
Oh,
So we obviously have Saul Rubinek in his
I love him.
only, yeah, his only role as the documentarian Emmett Bregman. And I think, David, when you interviewed Robert C. on Dial the Gate, he told you that Saul took this role very personally and he had tons of ideas about the character. And they had lots of long meetings where Saul would write suggestions in the script margins.
He sure did.
And he sort of partnered with Robert to develop Bregman's lines.
That's not
And
really
they
something you can get away with as
intentionally,
an actor. Yeah, normally.
Mm.
no, they intentionally shaped him as like an unapologetic character who wouldn't seek sympathy from viewers. And Saul wanted to confirm the part matched his abilities and like appreciated how receptive the creative team were for his input and, spontaneous additions. And Saul offered various ideas and contributions. And he did, after all, stress that Robert C. deserved full credit for the product.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely.
And I believe that the Iraq War was happening while they wrote this, and Robert Cooper said that he didn't mean it to make it political commentary, but he couldn't ignore the obvious parallels
Mm-mm.
with, embedded journalists,
Well,
Yeah.
embedded
Saul was
journalists.
born in a refugee camp in Germany
He
after
was.
World War
He
II.
was.
So these secret societies, secret organizations impact on people, real or fictional. This has an impact on him. And
Mm.
he
Yes.
really, took ownership of this role, which is extraordinary.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
he's a dream. When I met him as well at Comic Con, I remember saying to him, I was like, Heroes is like considered the greatest episode of Stargate. And I was like,
Mm,
and so much of that is like not only like the main cast and crew, but having a such a good guest star like really carry it. And
yeah, he
it's a
really
hard job to do,
pops.
having someone carry such an important role
Yep.
as a guest. And honestly, he
Mm,
amazes me. So
yeah, it just sounds like he really immersed himself into this role. So
Not
yeah,
everyone could
you
have
can
pulled this
really see that
off.
pop on screen.
Yep.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. So here's a bit of a fun fact. Robert Cooper, who wrote this episode, got his inspiration from an old MASH episode called Yankee Doodle Doctor,
Yep.
where they had like a documentary crew filming, and he wanted to take a step back and really look at how incredible the Stargate program was and explore how these people felt about saving the world on a weekly basis without anyone knowing about it. And I think, David, when you interviewed Andy Makita, he called this episode Stargate's love letter to the armed forces.
Correct.
And Andy praised how invested everyone was because the episode had such a different tone to what they usually did. And there's like a level of sensitivity and vulnerability that they hadn't really explored before. And I think he told David that parts were like, I think you mentioned this, shot all over the place so when they could get to it.
Yep.
So it was filmed essentially March all the way through to August of 2003. So they would just steal the actors for a moment of filming whenever they could and like just stitched it together. So yeah, parts of this episode were filmed over a pretty extensive period, which is kind of cool.
How fast Saul's brain is going is kind of mind-boggling because you know he sounds like he's coming up with the dialogue as he's doing. Oh, that's interesting. Was it you know? And it's him.
very
It's just his
natural.
natural approach.
Yeah.
Like the way he just pulls Ghost Mostly, imagine. It's just like it's like, oh wait, so what? We need to talk about this. The way that he coughs into his hand is so good.
I know.
That's
It's
fantastic.
good.
Stuff.
And Saul just bounces right back with it.
Great chemistry. Lockwatcher said, "This is so upsetting. I'm not ready to watch this episode." Oh wait, I found the DVD. I guess I am.
There you
So-
go.
Oh, I don't think anyone's ever ready to watch this episode.
Oh yeah,
So-
Lockwatch also reminds us Adam Bolden's in this episode, and I'm a
He
huge
is.
Firefly Chuck fan. So yay!
Yes.
So you have
He
to
is.
understand when I watched this, I had been trying to get Rick for the longest time to sit down and talk with me. So as I'm watching this for the first time, I really feel like Bregman.
Yeah.
I finally interviewed Rick on the aircraft carrier in San Diego for the Stargate Continuum premiere, and we had a great 5 minutes, but that's all it was. And I've been chasing him ever since. So I relate to this character on a journalistic reporter level.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, you studied journalism as well.
I did.
Yeah, I get that.
I love the way she's like, "Well, you got my file."
Yes,
to the
quickly
camera.
record her.
Yeah.
camera.
She's perfect.
I love this.
Yeah, it's funny because she's like, she's like faced armies of Jafar, with loaded weapons as
Blown
if
up
it
the
were
star.
nothing.
Yeah.
And now when there's a camera in front of her, she just turns to a bowl of jello.
That's it.
Blue jello.
Blue Jello, yeah.
I suspect if AI is ever really a thing and takes off, I suspect, a few years from now, I think a fan is going to sit down and make this documentary possible using AI
That
and a
would
number of
be
other things.
really cool.
Wild to watch.
Well, it'd
Yeah.
be interesting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone's going to be complaining. They're not getting their rights, and they're not using for using their likenesses. And I understand, but there's some things you're just not going to be able to stop. So we'll see.
yeah.
But I would like to see
Yeah.
it, as long as it doesn't make any
Yes.
money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just experimentation's interesting.
Yep.
Yes.
But then, the robots might take over and yada yada
Oh,
yada.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
I
Likeness
thought
you
rights will be
meant
the least of our
that,
worries.
Nicole.
Yeah.
I'm always team robot.
No, you are. So, in a second, Daniel's like cheeky little dash down
Yes.
the corridor.
Oh, it's so funny.
I think it's kind of funny because I don't believe that he would have done that like pre-ascension. I think he kind of would have been a little bit more excited to share like his
Yes.
archaeological discoveries on camera. But like this Daniel is more cynical. He's more resistant to playing
Snarky.
along with
Bit
what he
Jack.
sees as like a pointless exercise. He's becoming a little bit more Jack.
Yeah. Season 7 is the leap from the beeper to the cell phone headset.
Yeah.
With Lost City.
I love this so much. This is honestly
Bluetooth.
such a
funny.
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's well done.
He thinks of could be life changing stuff.
It's just a
Yeah.
mellow.
What does this mean for
Let's
humanity?
get a shot of it.
Internal facts.
It's fascinating. He's so cute. Why'd you run? It's honestly it's a great reaction.
Oh God, I think my parents had that fax machine.
I had a thermal fax machine.
I don't
He's
even know what
such a
that
cutie.
means.
Want to see if you chase me?
Jeez.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God.
This
So
is the
Silas
birth of
Sunshine.
Dr. Lee, the comedian.
Yeah.
I love Dr. Lee. If you actually watch the demonstration really carefully, there's sort of a little bit of a technical glitch. So there's like this weird delay between when the blast hits Sylar and when the stunt rig pulls him back. It's
Yeah.
just like a split second, but it's sort of kind of obvious.
Yeah, there are two practical effects going at once. The smoke at the end of the staff, and then the
Big rope.
the ratchet
thing.
the ratchet
Yeah.
pull.
Ratchet pull, yeah. At least he's going back into like a cushy padding.
Yep.
You can see where the
unlike
line and the padding is,
that
where he's
previous
being
episode.
pulled through.
Oh,
Where
sure.
the,
Yeah.
the thing is.
Yes.
The way that Teal'c doesn't even
I think
wait.
Teal'c is he's just enjoying it.
Yeah, he doesn't even wait a beat.
Oh,
I know he
yeah,
does it.
I never noticed the delay.
Yeah, the delay always kind of bothers me.
Yes, I remember noticing it before in the past, but
Yeah.
what can you do?
Speed it up.
Speed it up. I was going to say as well, I believe that Sony gave Stargate these like special MPEG cameras to make the documentary footage look real. But the
Wow.
problem was like someone set up something wrong and a lot of it came out really blue, so they had to color correct everything in post. I don't know how
Whoa.
true that is.
Interesting.
What's
I don't know.
a ball ache that would be?
Mm.
Dan Ben, did Daniel Jackson have a middle name? If he did, we don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't have a middle name because my dad forgot and my mum
And you've
was
also got a lot of
unconscious.
surnames.
Yeah.
True.
Well, actually, so my surnames aren't double barrel, but they're not
Yes.
hyphenated. So everyone assumes my middle name is Rodriguez, and that's just silly.
Oh, well.
So,
So-
where's the Rodriguez and the Galdo come from then?
My two last
One's
names
a
are my mum
dad's
and my dad.
surname and
Your mom and your dad? Ah, okay.
yeah,
Your mom's last
share.
name? You mean your grandfather's last name?
Yeah, technically. yes.
technically, yeah. If you want to be technical.
Okay.
But then if you want to get really technical, it's like my great.
Speaking of being technical,
So,
you kind of really see a disconnect when Sam like launches into that super technical explanation about the
Yes.
gate operations, and Bregman cuts her off to watch the
I
gate
know,
spinning.
it's so sad.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because she has this really deadpan delivery about the gate spinning and steam
Try
coming
spinning,
out of
it's
it and
so cool.
everything.
His steam comes out,
And
yeah.
it kind of illustrates what Robert C. Cooper was going for with this episode. So after 7 years, even the most extraordinary aspects of the job of Stargate Command became sort of routine.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
just like the SG teams who bet on what they'll find off world, the crew had become sort of a little bit complacent, I guess, like desensitized.
Colonel Dave Dixon enters the scene. Adam Baldwin, like Lockwatcher
Yes,
says.
Adam
I love him.
Baldwin.
He is my boo.
So the producers apparently wanted him to return for Atlantis, but Adam's
love that.
schedule wouldn't allow it.
I actually want to say, the game Halo 3 ODST is basically just Firefly, the video game. They got the cast. So Adam
Hmm.
Baldwin is in that. And that is my Halo tattoo on my arm. It's from Halo 3 ODST, which is my favorite
Oh,
game, which has
cool.
him in it.
Look at you.
He's honestly such a fan. He's amazing.
So David Lewis plays Cameron Belinsky, so SG-13's enthusiastic archaeologist. Sorry,
Carrot Top.
he actually replies.
He's doing a great Danny Elfman impression.
Comes back in season 8, doesn't he? It's great.
Yep.
He'll reprise the role in Mobius Part 2. And then Christopher Pierce plays Senior Airman Jack Bosworth, and he actually returns as the same character in Mobius Part 2. He meets that unfortunate Anne courtesy of Gua-Walded Daniel on Chulak.
Yes.
And he's also in Prometheus Unbound.
Julius Chappell, who plays Simon Wells. We've emailed back and
Yes.
forth a couple of times. I've been trying to get him.
Oh,
I would love to have him.
It would have been awesome to see him in some later episodes, because I think he really knocks the ball out of the park with this episode. I think he does really well.
Well, he's the
but, yeah, we
symbol
only see him once.
of Frasier's lasting courage and responsibility. That
He gets to
it
be a father.
makes it
He's
makes her
literally
death
the last
noble.
person that she saves.
Uh-huh.
So, and Dixon's dialogue here about his 4 kids, like it's sort of how gate travel is kind of actually like it's sort of funny because it reveals how these soldiers compartmentalize their dangerous work. It also humanizes, I think, the other SG teams that we really see. Kind of
Hmm.
reminds
So
us that these people do have lives beyond the
his
gate,
comment on, you know what else works? Birth control that works.
Yeah.
He's tried.
It's just Adam Baldwin always plays these quite like, snarky and characters like that. Like I have their moments of attitude, and like Jane in Firefly. So I just love that he's bringing a bit of that.
Yeah. Okay, so you might actually notice that throughout this episode, Jack's hair mysteriously gets shorter and longer. So you'll
Yes.
notice the shorter hair in this scene. And I think Robert Cooper shared a bit of a production story about this on Dial the Gate.
Yep.
So he got called into set because RDA had returned from this like summer hiatus that they had while they were filming with his super short haircut, and they were shooting scenes that were supposed to take place earlier in the episode. And when Robert asked what happened, Rick just sort of shrugged and said, he felt like getting his hair cut shorter. And they
Oh,
joked that Jack must have found time, to visit the barber shop in the middle of this crisis. And you can actually see like the hair length change because, like I said, it was shot like 6 to 8 weeks from the original footage.
At least
So,
it got shorter and not longer.
well, it flips back and forth.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah. But it's not like
I've never
really
noticed
super
it.
noticeable.
I've never
It's not
noticed it.
super
Yeah.
noticeable
I
because his hair
did.
was pretty short to begin with. Yeah.
Yeah, I
If it
remember
was
noticing it, but
that
that's
bad, they could have reshot it with the shorter hair. They would
yeah,
have
it's
made it
not
work.
bad enough.
So this is a quote from the film.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's so silly when you say it like that, though. Like you talk about it being a landing pad. It's like,
Yeah.
could get him some pills, put him in an asylum. Oh, Catherine.
Yeah.
I love the way that he's just recapping his life to him, and he's just like, yeah, sure, yeah. I got nothing
Yeah,
to
he
give
doesn't
you.
really indulge him very much, does he?
No.
What do you remember? Not much.
I'm not gonna lie. I know that SG1's very like against this, but I would really feel I would love to see Daniel kind of taking his moment, being like, you know what, everyone who doubted me, if this ever
Yeah.
comes out, screw it,
Exactly.
everybody.
That would have been much
Take the
more true to
moment.
form.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, I
post
think
Ascension Daniel is cynical Daniel.
It is,
he
yeah,
is very
yeah.
cynical. Yeah.
So cute.
It's tricky though because from their perspective, they don't Tilk. From their perspective, they just don't know how they're going to be portrayed, and they're just really sensitive to how they're going to come across. And I don't think they want to be hero worshipped.
Nope.
No. Here comes like one of the most popular memes / gifs that came out of this
Indeed.
show.
The Indeed
Yeah,
gif,
for sure.
yes.
It's probably the most gift Stargate.
Yeah,
Frame.
it's weird. I occasionally see like Stargate being used in memes, and I'm like, "Whoa, what are you doing here, Stargate?" And it's always a nice thing.
Yeah.
Like completely
It's
out of context
usually
of Stargate.
I usually see the one where Jack's like shrugging outside the wormhole,
Oh,
and
Gate
then
is gonna
like,
gate.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You missed us. Yeah.
So mad. He's just like, I
Did
hate
he
this.
did he actually tell you to say anything in response to my questions? No.
He's burning through, Oh, jeez. Tape
Amazing.
Oh, buddy.
Here we go.
This-
But yeah, it's like it is reminding me of my earlier days in journalism where you sometimes would have to phrase a question multiple times to
Yeah.
get an
There it
actual
is.
response. Because some people
Yeah.
just give you like 2 or 3 word responses and you're like, I can't quote that.
Not everyone's a good interview. You should have seen Joe
No.
Flanagan between season 1 and 2. He was a terrible interviewer. Yes, no answers. And it's like,
Oh,
okay, come on, dude, you got to give me
Joe.
something. And he got much better. They had to coach him.
I was going to say he
Yeah.
probably had training.
Yep. They got it. They got him through it. And he
Well, Anthony said, I would have liked to see the finished documentary. Yeah.
yeah, me too. I showed my dad Heroes 1 and 2, and his issue with this is if the president requested that this be created,
Yes.
In addition to
As he's
that,
exiting.
right. In addition to that, but also just regardless, these people at this command would have been bending over backwards to make sure that they got what they needed, so that they would have the most possible positive portrayal given,
Yeah.
rather than being snarky like this. This is a lot of fun, but it's not realistic.
No.
Hammond would have been under orders to cooperate fully, and based on everything that my father has said, like it would have turned out much more like MASH had. Where they would have really given them an opportunity to really see these people.
Yeah.
Now, not reveal a ton of personal information or classified information, but they wouldn't have been they would have been ordered to not be reticent on camera.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
It comes
the
a thing from
Imperial
Empire
probe
Strikes Back.
droid.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Imperial
That's
probe
it.
droid.
they're kind of not even really subtle about it. Like it looks
No.
exactly like
It's
it.
just straight
Except
up
it's
in the
not
air.
going
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever
I was
the
going to make that
noise
noise.
is.
Turn on the system, turn on the sound. This is one of the few effects that I buy when the probe droid gets knocked over from the rock fall. It doesn't.
You buy it?
I don't buy it.
I don't
It
buy it.
falls
I don't.
apart
It's
too
not
easily.
good.
It
Yeah.
would have been pushed. It would have been pushed by the shield.
Yeah.
Instead, like it looks like the lid, its cap or whatever, was just like not even holding on to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't hit hard enough. It was just nudged.
Like a crappy little barbecue in the wind.
Yeah.
A barbecue in the wind.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just looks like that the top head part of it just wasn't connected to the body and it kind of just like slipped.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not great. Also, isn't shooting that close kind of a bad thing to do tactically? Like
It's not
what if
good.
it
Yeah.
ricocheted? Yeah.
For sure.
Also, I just want to say that I didn't even realize Lockwatcher also compared the droid to a grill. He said if it's attacked by a Weber grill, it's a grill / Imperial probe droid. Wow, Kinsey, I hate you.
Okay.
Oh, he's just like he's so fake.
I know.
He's a politician.
I know.
Yeah.
He plays
I
politician
hate
very
it.
well, Ronnie
This is
does.
what
Cox.
I'm like
really
at work
does.
when I'm talking to someone I hate. I like immediately start bending over backwards to be as nice as possible to them because I need work done. But
It's
like,
so scripted. Even Bregman is like checked out.
yeah, he's like, this is all crap.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want political propaganda. He wants something that's actually real.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the thing that really sucks for him is that they don't know that they can trust him yet as a journalist, but they they don't realize that he's actually so full of heart and he's not only trying to do his job, but he's trying to help them, you know.
Oh, here we go. Here's the rub. It doesn't sound real. Give me something real. No. Nope. I gave you the soundbite that I wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly. That makes me look good because,
Exactly
I'm going to
right.
be running for vice president.
That's
Oh,
it. Well, he's
God.
currently in the middle of the campaign, I would think.
Yeah,
yeah.
on the
So-
campaign trail.
Mm-hmm.
So his like cafeteria ambush of Jack just really shows like how shameless he has become. Like after years of actively trying to shut down the SGC and undermine Hammond, he's like pandering to both the camera and Jack, like promising his full
It's
support if he's elected.
disgusting.
But like the hypocrisy is just staggering. Like he's literally campaigning in the same facility he once tried to destroy.
Yep.
And like his attempt to get Jack's vote on camera just shows how like absolutely just shameless he is about his past actions. It's just like pure political opportunism. Like
And
it's just
that he thinks he
disgusting.
can actually pull it off.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. I'm
Oh, so
curious to see
sweet.
how much the closed captions actually picks up of Jack.
I was gonna say,
Not,
I really
not a lot.
want,
I watched it yesterday.
Oh, there you
I
go.
really,
Mm.
really wish that I got to know exactly what he said.
Son of a
read his
bitch
lips
is
a
in
little
there. I
bit.
know that.
For sure, yeah. Yeah. I was like, he's eating this up. Emmett's loving this.
This is the most action Emmett's gotten so far.
Yeah.
What makes him think that he can count on Jack's vote? Like, what makes him
He
think
can't.
that? Exactly.
And he's going to keep going. Here we go. This is a campaign pitch for something that'll probably be released after you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I kind of want to know, was he actually saying anything at all, or is he just
I'm
miming?
sure. Yeah. Self-righteous, opportunistic asshole. You're nothing but a something son of a bitch. I was done.
We need to get like some lip reading experts.
Kevin Weaver, the voice of the documentary voiceover in the second half, is one of the characters from Stargate Infinity.
Correct.
Whoa, that's a
yeah.
fact.
It is a fact.
No, not fun, but a fact. Sorry, the Stargate
Interesting.
really hate.
Jeez.
I appreciate it, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, look at him back there,
SG-13.
like,
What could go
stopping it.
wrong?
Yeah, on 666. I can't remember the
Oh, I
designation.
forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's so obvious. It's like really obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those damned computer designations.
Symbolism is what I wanted to say.
Uh-huh. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, P3X666
Yep.
and SG13.
I love this comment.
Love.
Like, Dad looked after me for a minute. Yay.
That's funny.
That was just so sweet.
Just throw him a bone.
This is the kind of stuff that happens at my work. Like, I'll be like, oh man, I've got to have a meeting with this person. And my boss will be like, don't worry, I already took care of that. And I'm like, this is why I love you. This is why But my boss did the opposite to me the other week. And I was like, you being a lazy piece of crap, mate, I had to go have the meeting. And so I was like, screw you, I'm leaving early. So. Damn right he is.
The footage isn't going anywhere. It's not leaving the base, you know? And it all is logged and accessible to him, within days.
Exactly.
To the letter.
Mm. The president disagrees.
Mm,
And that's true.
yeah. This
Simply
is
by being
exactly
there.
why he's so
Yeah.
resistant to the whole thing, yeah.
It's why it's so hard to like make content online and why pre-recorded content is something I struggle with, because it's like it feels so unnatural while just talking like a stream like this, it's
Bregman's
nice.
not wrong.
No.
No, neither of them are wrong.
No, you film enough, and it all depends on the editing. It all depends on how it's assembled.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the red one.
Yeah.
You go get out.
Is there more than one?
No.
I know.
I don't
It's always the red one.
He's got 2 phones in his office, though. He's got a black one.
Could be his granddaughters, They're
Mhm.
number
That's
one.
it.
Number one on the
That's
speed
right.
dial.
No, I love the way the chat goes. So I guess 2. You 2 on the speed dial.
The president, yeah.
Yeah.
The president.
Does anyone in the chat remember speed dial?
Yes.
I had it on my flip phone. I did have it.
But it wasn't really a speed dial. It was just a contact that was set. Well, I guess it was a button that was pressed, yeah. But it doesn't dial fast when you pick it up. So
Oh, you're like...
No.
it's just right, exactly right. It's just saved as a
Yeah.
number. Thank you, Gecko Fet Web. Thank you, Anthony Rowling. There we go. So hard to shut you up. Because you made them miserable.
I would have liked to see all of SG1 interview together, or at least like put them in pairs. Maybe like they could help each other out
I
by
think they'd be
supporting each
very
other through it.
awkward.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
might be nice. I'd love to see Sam and Teal'c doing
Yeah.
an
Oh,
interview together.
God. Is that a
Maybe Sam can bring out
VHS?
some warmth from him that Emmett wouldn't have gotten before.
Yeah.
Mm.
I never had these tapes, but the one that Daniel uses in the field, I definitely had one and was shooting on one of those at the time.
Yes.
The micro DV tapes.
Yes, I think when I first studied journalism, I think the equipment that we had to hire out for filming stuff off off campus. I think that was one of those as well.
Oh, so he doesn't have the complete list. That some of them have been flagged as inappropriate. Yeah. Well, we know the foothold incident he'll never have access to.
Yep.
No.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't really seen Fraser yet.
No.
But it's what I do like is that they built her connection with Emmett in order to like so that because it hits even harder because it hit everyone
It makes it
anyway
more
in the
personal
SGC.
for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he has that extra personal connection to
Mm.
to her death, which is I'm terrified.
Yeah, they'll only follow his instructions as so long as the colonel says it's okay.
To a point,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Me with
Yeah,
Rick.
see, his hair's long again.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Shots of his ass.
It sure is. I'll be darned.
Damn right. I think we all want shots of his ass. We're good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Evie and I will take that.
Mhm. Amen. Oh, I love this convo.
Oh, okay, the
She's
shipper.
basically blushing.
They're sneaking some of the shippiness into it without like overdoing it too much. There's a little bit, but you know, they got to feed us.
Well done for sure.
Yeah.
So I think her response to Bregman is quite telling. So she doesn't deny the attraction to Jack. She just points to military regulations as a barrier. And I think that's not a no, that's a not while we're serving together kind of thing. So
Yeah.
if we ever get more Stargate, I really, really want a scene where they're watching this released footage together, like the documentary once it's been released, with Jack teasing her about that interview.
Yes.
You know, sort of saying something like, you know, you didn't tell me you'd said that, and you know, look where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, he doesn't really know anything about them personally. It's kind of just
No,
jumping
he
off of
doesn't.
like them two being, you know, man and a woman kind of thrown together and in the trenches. So it's like, oh
Maybe,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh goodness, it's great.
Yeah,
Damn
this
right.
is down the rabbit hole in terms of what would basically show up on this, what would show up in a documentary. But
I was gonna say,
it's good
yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of my favorite scenes.
This is so good.
Also, his name tag hasn't been changed yet. It still says Norman Davis.
Sure does. Yeah, he's not recognized as Walter Harriman officially until season 1's home on SGA.
Yeah.
That's a long time because it's like
Yeah.
One more season.
It goes back
Yeah.
to like season 4.
It sure does. Yeah, it should at least
Yeah,
be
that's
Walter
mad.
Davis now, but it says Norman. Yeah.
Yeah, I get to do this cool part because of the Ritu. We had to
You're
find a way
right.
to get around it. Look what I can do. And that's basically my job.
Yeah,
Look how proud he
he's
is.
not giving himself enough credit.
To be fair, right? Everyone is important in every stage, you know? Like, if he wasn't there to do that, then, like, because everyone else is doing their bit, he has to do that to help everyone out, you know?
I love
But like,
watching the text.
how important is the iris though? The iris is so important, and he
Sure is.
controls it. So
Like,
It's
he may not
just-
be in charge, but he's pressing the buttons.
exactly. But yeah, the guy's doing obviously nothing in the background.
Watch them look over their shoulder.
Yeah, I love the way they kind of start glaring at him, just being like, all right, okay, full of crap. The way that he's talking is how I talk in like job interviews when they start asking me about like why I care about this role, and I keep talking. I'm like, oh, a sense of pride, you know, I really give a shit. I swore, sorry.
but he's sincere.
Yeah, he is. He actually
sincere.
is.
They
He
need
probably
to
doesn't have a lot
use-
else going on. in his
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, they need to use that interview with Walter in some sort of like geek technician recruitment video.
Yeah.
Ah,
They should have used that in SGU for Daniel's recordings about the Stargate program. They should have cut to some of that
Yes.
footage. Yeah, get me some juicy stuff out there, would you? Like, get me some shots of Canada. The way Daniel's like weird ass smile there. It's just Gecko Fett said, I prefer Walter over automation any day. Yeah, yeah. It's like there are like self-driving cars now, right? That are actually Ubering people in some locations. And I hate that. I trust people way more than I trust a damn computer when it comes to that kind of stuff.
You never
It's my
know.
security.
It's funny, he's putting this bug in his ear, and the very next mission, he's going to be like, here, let me tell my wife how I feel about her. Oh, you know what? I can film this.
Yeah.
Rude.
A little jig. I'd love to get these two on for an interview.
I would love to meet Saul again. He's honestly like one of the nicest people I've ever met. He was so sincere, and I really just love his work. So
yeah, you
And he's so
actually
good at
the
being
interview
funny.
you did with him, David, was really good. He was
Yeah.
really
He was so
chatty.
open.
You didn't
Yeah.
even have to say much. You just had to ask him
No.
a question, and he'd answer for like the next 10 minutes.
He's
with
Yeah.
so
something really
responsive.
honest.
He's so ready to just like throw some nice stuff at people. It's honestly, it's good energy. Yeah, let's get real about this, guys. Oof. I'm glad it never went public because I can always have just a little imaginary Stargate program in my head. You know, Stargate lives on.
I think it was supposed to go public in
Glad it didn't.
the next project
Revolution.
that Brad Wright was
Yep,
working
Stargate
on.
Revolution. Yep.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked for me. That would have kind of ruined some of the magic because it
But
would have
where
really
else?
felt very
Where else
final.
could it go though? Like if they were going to reboot the series,
Exactly.
where else could it go
Nowhere.
that made
Leave
it
it.
that made it different? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. If you wanted to change stuff on Earth, that would be the way to go. They get even more political, though. But it would have destroyed the illusion that
Exactly.
it's our Earth.
Exactly. That's what's so important to me.
Yeah.
Is that I could never believe that it's our actual Earth, but I feel so like invested in this, and like I feel part of it because of that, because the world is my own.
Until inauguration, everything could be ours, and then it's like, well, that's definitely not now. Because William Devane is doing Colonial Penn ads, not sitting in the Oval.
Yeah.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, this is where it all changes, guys. But Boswell, he's like immediately moving to protect his teammate.
Yep.
As that training's kicking in.
Oh yes.
Okay, so you'll notice Siler in the background getting treated from
the
his
thing.
burn or whatever from earlier, which is a nice touch.
He looked at him and he said, "Ow."
But like, yeah, Janet's like going through almost like
We can list these
the
episodes.
greatest hits of Stargate injuries.
You've got a bit of brief candle in
His
there,
knees.
bit of a
Exactly.
message in a bottle.
Well, that's
The Hathel thing?
like
Never mind.
RDA's actual surgeries, I believe.
Yep.
And I think he hurt his knee again, like right before season 6.
Oh, jeez.
Where he was like carrying his daughter, so they wrote it into the show.
Yep.
I don't understand any of that, but wow. Oh, flirty Janet.
We just did not get enough of her this season.
No.
Well, I was wondering if it's because I think, according to Robert Cooper, this episode was supposed to be earlier on in the season. Is that maybe why she doesn't appear in some of the previous episodes? Because she was supposed to be dead?
Supposed to already be dead.
That's
yeah.
a very.
That makes- that
I
makes-
intend to ask Rob that.
I prefer
Yeah,
that than
please
thinking they
do.
just didn't include her.
Yeah.
So.
Because there was like literally an infirmary scene in Chimera, and she wasn't there, and you would have thought that she would be. It would seem
Yeah.
obvious, but I'm just thinking that maybe they had to reshuffle the order of the episodes, and it was too late to cast her in, I think, at that stage.
Does he not know that the
Liar,
gate
liar.
opens to other planets? What I mean, what? That's what I don't understand about
I
it.
don't
The
know.
information that he has.
Yeah. Just doesn't know
Yeah.
that
He
phrasing.
knows the
It's
gate
like, well,
opens. He knows it's
off-world
there.
activation.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty darn self-explanatory.
Okay, so there's
I
a
love
moment
this.
where Redmond's like he bumps into Bregman with the boom mic. So apparently Andy Makita encouraged the improvisation like in moments like that during filming, and it sort of like perfectly flows into this next beat where he starts recording Bregman's awkward attempts to flirt with Janet.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it is good.
Get some B-roll
No,
of
this is
Siler.
way more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
This is so sweet. Oh. It's weird because everyone else has been so mean to him and being like, get out, while Janet's actually like being really
Right.
nice.
Oh, for sure. There's a little bit of an attraction there. I love the look on her face when she
definitely.
realizes the camera's filming this. She's like, what?
And the way he tries to look back, he's like, no, look over there, stop it. Like a petulant child.
That gold probe droid.
Bam.
So they got a man down, right? But
Yes.
like the loss is going to be a lot having these people go and rescue them with the odds, right?
Yes.
Would the U.S. military in a real situation would have just also, or Air Force would have pieced out? Would have
They
pieced out?
probably would have tried to extract him.
Maybe. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
that's the whole reason that Woolsey has an issue.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause I just wonder at what point do you kind of go, well, it's too much.
There is a possibility,
Yeah.
that they wouldn't have.
So I read somewhere, and again, I don't know how true this is, but I read somewhere that this was a bit of improvisation in this cafeteria scene. So during filming, Terrell spotted that Saul was still wearing his personal wedding ring, and rather than stopping the scene, she incorporated it into the moment and has Janet ask about the ring, and Saul's response about his wife was like improvisation, and it kind of adds this unexpected depth to the character.
I love it. I think it's that's the thing. It's not really something that like serves everything, the plot too much. It's just there to just give us a bit more on Emmett. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. We don't. I'm wrong. I was about to say we don't see her with her guard down, and no, we often do. But yeah, she's from another planet.
I love when she's like being like, "Hey, yeah, do you want to be like the stepfather, alien kid?
The deadpan delivery is just like mwah, comedy
Terrific.
gold.
Would you really talk about that on camera?
But,
I would have
like-
loved to get a Cassandra interview on camera.
Yep.
I know. So looking
she'd
back,
keep her away
this
from that.
scene becomes like even more poignant. Like watching one of Janet's final moments of peace where she's genuinely happy and maybe considering the possibility of something new with
Yeah.
Bregman
Janet's last
Yeah.
makes
supper.
what's coming like
Yeah,
that much harder to watch.
yeah.
So I believe the script draft was leaked online in February 03 before they started filming, and Bregman's character was called Parker in that version.
Oh.
But all the major plot points were still there, and fans immediately started that Save Janet Fraser
Yep.
campaign. There was a website.
I actually, so I knew she died before I ever saw
Me
this
too.
episode, because obviously, well, for me, I hadn't seen it. I'd seen season 8 and I'd gone, where the hell is Janet? And then
Yeah.
it would come up every now and again, and I think I then watched like season 9 after not seeing her at all, and I was like, she either left or she died. And then I
Right.
saw Ripple Effect, and then that's when I was like, oh damn, I've like
Mm,
she's dead. And so it didn't hit me as emotionally as I wish it did. It was just such a surprise. I was like, wait, what? When did that happen? What happened to Cassandra? So
yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the next one.
But we're
But
gonna
I
get
am.
through it together, everyone. That was
Yeah.
Heroes Part 1. Stay with us.